Will the Earth explode? It's a question that pops up repeatedly on forums, in movies, and during late-night existential conversations. Some imagine it as a catastrophic chain reaction sparked by a cosmic event, while others see it as a metaphor for the environmental and technological crises we face today. But scientifically speaking, could Earth ever actually explode? The short answer is, it's extremely unlikely. That said, the curiosity behind the question is worth exploring, because it touches on real threats, deep fears, and our need to understand the long-term fate of our home planet. Chapter 1. The stability of Earth. Earth is not a silent, still ball floating through space. It's a dynamic, constantly moving planet, with a hot molten core, shifting tectonic plates, and active volcanoes. However, the planet's internal structure is not built in a way that would allow it to explode like a bomb. Even the most powerful natural processes, earthquakes, supervolcanoes, asteroid impacts, don't carry the kind of energy or mechanism required for a full planetary explosion. The crust, mantle, and core work in layers to regulate pressure and heat. While eruptions and quakes may seem violent, they are Earth's way of stabilizing itself. It is, ironically, too stable to explode. Chapter 2. Real dangers, but not explosions. While an earth-shattering explosion is almost certainly not in the cards, the planet can still face destruction, or at least massive transformation through other means. A. Asteroid impacts. Roughly 66 million years ago, a massive asteroid struck Earth near what is now the Yucatan Peninsula, triggering a mass extinction that wiped out the dinosaurs. That impact, however, didn't explode the planet. It just radically changed the surface and atmosphere. Today, scientists monitor near-Earth objects to predict and prepare for potential collisions. A sufficiently large impact could destroy ecosystems, cities, or even civilization, but not the Earth itself. B. Supervolcanoes. Supervolcanoes like Yellowstone in the United States have the potential to eject thousands of cubic kilometers of ash into the atmosphere. This could lead to a volcanic winter, drastically reducing global temperatures and causing widespread famine. Again, this would be catastrophic, but still far from blowing the planet apart. C. Human technology and hypothetical catastrophes. When the Large Hadron Collider, LHC, was activated, some speculated it could create a black hole or strangelets that would consume the Earth. Physicists swiftly debunked those fears, pointing out that such events are virtually impossible under the known laws of physics. But it raised a philosophical point. Could advanced technology one day create a scenario in which Earth does explode? So far, the answer remains firmly in the realm of science fiction. Chapter 3. Cosmic events that could destroy the Earth. Let's go beyond Earth and consider events in the wider cosmos that could annihilate our planet. A. The Sun's death. Our Sun is a main sequence star, currently halfway through its roughly 10 billion year lifespan. In about 5 billion years, it will exhaust its hydrogen fuel and expand into a red giant, likely engulfing Mercury, Venus, and possibly Earth. Even if Earth escapes direct engulfment, it will be scorched and stripped of its atmosphere. That might not be an explosion, but it's as good as planetary death. B. Supernovae and gamma-ray bursts. If a nearby massive star were to go supernova, it could release high-intensity gamma rays that would strip away Earth's ozone layer and trigger mass extinctions. Luckily, no such stars appear close enough to pose an immediate threat. Again, such events would ruin life on Earth but wouldn't physically explode the planet. C. Black holes. If a rogue black hole drifted into our solar system, its gravitational pull could tear Earth apart, slowly. This process, known as spaghettification, would stretch the planet into a long strand before it vanished into the black hole's singularity. Terrifying. Yes, an explosion, not exactly, more of a cosmic consumption. Chapter 4. Science fiction and planetary explosions. In science fiction, exploding planets are a popular trope. Star Wars famously obliterated Alderaan with the Death Star. Superman's home planet Krypton was destroyed by internal instability. And countless sci-fi books and games feature doomsday devices capable of blowing up entire worlds. These depictions are more about storytelling than science. Planetary explosions are visually dramatic, emotionally impactful, and symbolically rich. They reflect our fears of annihilation and our fascination with absolute destruction. Still, these scenarios often stretch or ignore the limits of physics. In reality, the amount of energy required to blow Earth apart in an instant is staggering, on the order of 2.2 x 1032 joules, or more energy than the Sun emits over a week. Chapter 5. Endgame scenarios for the Earth. If Earth won't explode, then how will it end? A. The slow death by the Sun. As discussed earlier, in 5 billion years, the Sun's red giant phase will likely destroy Earth through heat and gravitational chaos. B. Cosmic decay. Looking further ahead, we encounter theories like heat death. The universe cools down until no thermodynamic free energy remains. Earth would be frozen and lifeless long before then. Big Rip. If dark energy accelerates indefinitely, it could eventually rip apart galaxies, solar systems, and even atoms, tearing Earth apart in the process. Proton decay. In some grand unified theories, protons decay over trillions of years, meaning Earth would eventually dissolve into radiation. Again, none of these are explosions in the dramatic sci-fi sense, but they're definitive endings. Chapter 6. Philosophical reflections on planetary doom. Why are we so drawn to the idea of Earth exploding? Some say it's because the finality of an explosion brings closure, a clean, spectacular end. Others see it as symbolic of our environmental damage, our hubris in playing with dangerous technologies, or our inability to stop large-scale disasters. In the end, the real threats to Earth are slow and cumulative. Climate change, biodiversity loss, nuclear warfare, AI mismanagement. These don't explode the Earth, but they could make it uninhabitable for us. The explosion fantasy, then, may be a metaphor for collapse we fear but can't quite articulate. Conclusion. Will the Earth explode? Based on all known science, no. It's an exceedingly stable planet. The scenarios that could destroy it involve heat, radiation, gravity, and time, not instantaneous combustion. But the idea persists, not because it's likely, but because it captures our deepest fears and most dramatic imaginations. And while the Earth itself may not explode, it can be made unlivable by forces of nature or by our own hands. Rather than fearing fantasy explosions, perhaps we should focus on the quiet, creeping dangers and take action while we still can.